Most people believe you get to know someone through conversation, asking questions, making small talk, and trading compliments. But in truth, you only begin to see their real self in the silence when there's nothing left to perform. Every room is a stage, filled with smiles, flattery, and carefully chosen words. You can feel it. Behind the charm is calculation. Behind the praise is quiet suspicion. What people say is often rehearsed. What they reveal without words is not. The real skill isn't in what you say, it's in what you notice. The less you react, the sharper your awareness becomes. Every glance held a second too long, every pause before an answer, every micro-expression gives away more truth than 1,000 polished sentences ever could. That's why the ancient Stoics trained themselves in observation. Silence was not weakness to them. Silence was power. Observation was clear. When you remain calm and quiet, people lower their guard, and in that space, they show you exactly who they are, often without realizing it. Welcome to Stoic Philosophy Daily, where your story matters. Share your experience or your biggest struggle below. Every comment you leave is a gift. Here, your voice matters. We read with care, answer with heart, and treat your journey as part of our own. This is more than a channel. It's a circle of strength. Today, you'll learn how to read anyone without saying a word. Not through manipulation or tricks, but through disciplined awareness and calm observation. If you're ready to see past the masks and understand what's really happening beneath the surface, let's begin. 1. Tell me more. The power of presence. Most people speak to be heard, to win, to fill the silence with noise. But a Stoic listens, not to reply, but to understand. True presence is like sitting beside a still lake. When you're calm and undisturbed, the water settles, and others begin to see their own reflection more clearly. Sometimes, all it takes is 3 simple words. Tell me more. Not as a tactic, not as a trick, but as an open door. In that moment, the walls lower, arguments soften. Even a conversation about something small, such as a forgotten birthday or a choice of dinner, can reveal a deeper wound or an unspoken need. You ask a friend about their day. They complain about work. You pause, stay present, and say, "Tell me more." And suddenly, the story shifts. What comes out is fear of not being enough, or a dream they've never said out loud. This isn't manipulation, it's a mirror. Tell me more creates space. When people feel genuinely heard, their defenses relax. The mind stops protecting and starts revealing. Psychology confirms what the Stoics already knew. Truth doesn't surface under pressure, it emerges in safety. The real information appears not because you spoke well, but because you stayed still long enough. Silence isn't weakness, it's leverage. Stillness reveals more than interrogation ever could. The one who reacts least often sees the most. Practice this. In your following conversation, resist the urge to impress, fix, or interrupt. Imagine you're holding a lantern, not dragging someone forward, but lighting the path so they can walk it themselves. Lean in, listen fully. When the moment opens, ask calmly, "Tell me more." Pay attention to the pause, the shift in their voice, the truth that rises once the surface talk fades. At Stoic Daily, we believe an accurate understanding doesn't come from speaking louder. It comes from listening with intention. Try it today. Use "Tell me more" once, and notice what changes. What did they reveal when you stopped filling the silence? Share what you discovered below. 2. The silent test of character, how they treat the powerless. Character isn't revealed when the spotlight is on. It shows itself in the quiet corners, when no one important is watching, and there's nothing to gain. The accurate measure of a person isn't how they treat you, but how they treat those who can't do anything for them. You've seen it before. Someone lights up in front of the boss, but barely acknowledges the cleaner. Polite with you, impatient with the waiter. That's not kindness, that's image management. As the Stoics understood, true virtue doesn't perform. It doesn't need an audience to exist. Here's the difference that matters. Kindness rooted in strategy fades the moment the audience disappears. When there's no reward, no leverage, no advantage, the mask begins to slip. A person of real character doesn't ration respect by status. They offer it consistently because it reflects who they are, not what they want to be. Next time you're out, on a date, in a meeting, or with friends, observe quietly. Watch how people treat those who seem invisible. Notice if their tone shifts with power, if patience disappears when status drops. You'll catch it in the small signals. The forced warmth for the right person, the dismissive glance for the one who doesn't matter. This is where the truth shows itself. The question is simple, but uncomfortable. Would you trust your reputation, your friendship, or your heart to someone who becomes cold, the moment power and status are removed? True character isn't built on performance. It's built on principle. Someone who treats a stranger with dignity will treat you with the same respect, even when you have nothing left to offer. Practice this. This week, pay attention not just to how people treat you, but to how they interact with the powerless, the server, the delivery driver, the stranger asking for directions. Listen to their tone. Watch their patience. Notice whether they acknowledge or dismiss. Don't judge, just observe. Over time, patterns make everything clear. At Stoic Daily, we believe virtue reveals itself when no one is watching. Character is what you show to those who have nothing to offer you. Pay attention this week. What did you notice? Share below. 3. The past is the blueprint. People often say, the past is the past. But to a Stoic, the past is the blueprint for everything unfolding right now. A person's present is like a house. Every wall, every window, every locked door was built long before you arrived. No one lashes out, shuts down, or craves attention without a reason. Reactions aren't random. They're echoes of old wounds still shaping the structure beneath the surface. When someone recoils from kindness, maybe they were once abandoned. When they hunger for constant praise, perhaps they learned early that being invisible was safer than being ignored. When trust feels impossible, it's often because it was shattered before. What you see today is rarely about you. It's the past speaking through habits, defenses, and reflexes learned long ago. Here is the Stoic insight. To understand people, don't stop at behavior. Follow the thread back to its source, their story. This isn't about excusing harm or tolerating toxic behavior. It's about seeing the unseen architecture of another person's inner world. Every overreaction, every wall, every cold silence is not a mystery. It's a scar. The more profound truth is uncomfortable. People repeat what they don't repair. Until someone faces and heals their past, they will continue to relive it through relationships, conflicts, and significant life choices. Not because they want to, but because patterns run silently until they are brought into awareness. When you meet people with clarity, instead of quick judgment, you see both their flaws and their humanity simultaneously. Practice this. The next time someone overreacts or withdraws, pause before labeling them as such. Ask yourself quietly, what might their story be? What wound could be speaking here? Hold your boundaries, but respond with understanding. You don't have to fix them. You only have to see clearly. The past whispers through every decision. The wise learn to listen without getting pulled into it. At Stoic Daily, we believe true wisdom is seeing not just what people do, but why they do it. Think of someone whose behavior confuses you. Can you trace the pattern back to their past? Share what you noticed below. 4. The voice never lies. When tone betrays the truth. Words are costumes, easily worn and easily changed. But the voice is different. The voice carries what the mind tries to manage and what the body can't entirely conceal. If you want to see past the mask, stop watching lips and start listening to tone. Smiles can deceive, but tone tells the story underneath. A wavering pitch, a pause that lasts a heartbeat too long, energy that suddenly drains, like wind leaving the sails. You ask something simple, "How are you?" and hear the answer. But it's the dip in their voice, not the sentence, that tells you what's real. Maybe their rhythm breaks. Maybe their voice strains to sound normal. The friend who's always upbeat suddenly goes flat. The confident speaker hesitates. The excited voice dulls the moment a subject they fear comes up. The words say, "I'm fine," but the voice reveals what they're not ready to admit. This is the Stoic insight. The body can't lie for long, and the voice is often the first place truth escapes. When there's inner conflict, the mind constructs stories, but the body resists. That tension leaks through tone. It's a quiet battle, but once you learn to listen, it becomes unmistakable. Why does this matter? Because tone sits at the bridge between thought and emotion. It exposes what words try to hide. In a meeting, someone may agree, but the hesitation in their voice signals doubt or fear. At home, a partner might say, "It's okay," yet the flatness reveals hurt beneath the surface. With friends, notice the energy drop when a painful memory surfaces, no matter how quickly they try to brush it away. The practice is simple, but powerful. Listen for tone without rushing to react. Don't correct. Don't confront. Just observe. When you notice discomfort or contradiction, offer space instead of pressure. Sometimes a calm, "I noticed you went quiet. Do you want to talk?" is enough to open something real. Most truth in life isn't spoken directly. It's carried in pauses, sighs, and subtle shifts in the voice. The Stoic listens not to judge, but to understand what even the speaker hasn't fully faced yet. At Stoic Daily, we believe the voice reveals what the mask tries to hide. The words may distract you, but the voice always tells the truth. This week, listen beneath the words. What did you notice? Share below. 5. The mirror in the empty room, virtue revealed in private. Anyone can appear kind in front of an audience, generous with a camera, or humble when applause is guaranteed. But the real test begins when the room is empty and the lights go out. Who are you then, when no one is clapping, posting, or watching? That quiet moment is your most accurate reflection of yourself. The Stoics warned us of this long ago. Virtue is not proven in public, it is revealed in private. In a world obsessed with appearance, image often outruns integrity, but the Stoic lives for alignment, not applause. Don't judge a person by how they act on stage. Watch them in the wings, where they believe no one is looking. Pay attention to the small, unguarded moments. How do they treat the janitor when the boss has left? How do they speak to their partner when friends can't hear? How do they act when there is no reward for being kind? These quiet choices are not accidents. They are mirrors of the soul. I once knew a man admired for his charm in meetings, always smiling, always generous with praise. But behind closed doors, his tone hardened, his jokes cut, his kindness disappeared. It wasn't in the spotlight that his character was revealed. It was in the silence. And once you see that contrast, you can't unsee it. This isn't cynicism, it's clarity. When you observe without emotion or confrontation, you learn who to trust, where to invest your energy, and how to protect your peace. The truth doesn't need to be forced. It shows itself when attention fades. But don't stop with others. The hardest mirror is your own. Who are you when no one is watching? The Stoics' highest aim is inner harmony. A life where your private heart and public face are one, not behaving to impress, but acting in alignment with virtue, even in silence. At Stoic Daily, we believe the strongest virtue is who you are when the room is empty. True character is revealed in the quiet, not in the crowd. This week, notice the hidden moments in yourself and in others. Who are you when the audience is gone? Share what you discovered below. Read others. Reveal yourself. Words can lie, but emotions rarely do. If you want to know what truly matters to someone, don't cling to what they claim. Watch what stirs them. Emotions are the hidden compass of the soul. A sharpened tone of criticism, a flash of joy at praise, a sudden wall when trust is broken. These reactions are not accidents. They are messages, quiet signposts pointing to deeper values, fears, and unresolved wounds. But here's the more profound truth. The more skilled you become at reading others, the more clearly you begin to read yourself. You notice your own triggers, your own masks, the subtle places where ego still hides and reacts before wisdom arrives. Stoicism doesn't teach you to read minds. It teaches you to seek truth, first in the world, then, uncomfortably, within yourself. This journey was never about exposing others or gaining an advantage. It's about seeing through appearances, theirs and your own. The more precise your perception becomes, the harder it is to deceive yourself. You begin to recognize your motivations, your blind spots, the patterns you repeat without noticing. That is the real victory. Not catching someone else in a lie, but no longer lying to yourself. Remember this. Life is a stage. Everyone plays a role. Sometimes to protect themselves, sometimes to impress, often to belong. However, the Stoics seek something quieter and more profound. To step off the stage, to live honestly, to see clearly, and to respond with wisdom instead of reflex. At Stoic Philosophy Daily, we believe every lesson in reading others is ultimately a lesson in knowing yourself. Read deeply, live honestly, let clarity shape who you become. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on it. What did you discover about others or about yourself? Share below, and stay with Stoic Daily for more clarity within and without. If you're seeking more, discover the full path on my channel, Stoic Philosophy Daily.